I've always been embarrassed by my movie collection. When I was younger, I used to buy DVDs, but for some reason, the movies that I would pick were not exactly ones that I wanted to show off. As a big horror fan myself, my collection of horror movies is lacking. Instead of Alien or Halloween, I have Meet the Parents and Forrest Gump. Sure, these movies are okay at best, but this isn't right. Today, it's a lot easier to find and enjoy movies on streaming services, and they're kind of one and done. With more services getting added, things getting more expensive, and content getting pulled from them, I started to see that now is the time for me to start building out my own physical horror movie library that I can be proud of. So now I'm taking the time out to watch some horror classics to see, are they worth adding to my physical collection, or should they go down in the fiery depths with streaming? I'm Rob from the Masters of Nonsense, and I'm here today to talk about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Is this movie worth streaming or owning? What's the gimmick? Killer Clowns from Outer Space was released in 1988. The official synopsis of the movie is, aliens who look like clowns come from outer space and terrorize a small town. So basically, there's a comet crash in a small town, a couple tries to check it out, and then murderous clown-looking aliens are let loose. The couple tries to warn local authorities, but everyone assumes that their story is a prank. Meanwhile, the clowns set about harvesting and eating as many people as they can. This movie has always been on my radar, but I can't tell you why I never watched it. I would rarely see it playing on cable when I was younger, and when it did, for some reason I just wouldn't sit down to actually watch it. The title alone is perfect. It tells you exactly what you're going to see and why you want to watch it. And a guy like me likes three things: killers, clowns, and space. Why didn't I watch this earlier?
3 minutes and we're out of here.
I mentioned before, I have a short attention span. With little time to spare, I make my initial judgment on a movie based on the first 3 minutes of the film. And 3 minutes into Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I'm hooked. We get incredible theme music about killer clowns playing on the town radio, establishing shots of the town itself which look exactly like what you would imagine the target of alien clowns would go to and try to invade and eat. I thought we were going to get a glimpse of the clowns before my 3 minutes were up, but it was just a regular ice cream truck. Knowing that there will soon be alien clowns on the way, I'm invested. Mark out moment. Now this is a tough one. Initially, I thought it was going to be when the couple finds the clown circus tent spaceship and a clown shoots popcorn at them as they run away. Then that clown goes ahead and pulls out a balloon dog to track the scent of the popcorn to find them. This is the second time that we see clowns in this movie, and it's already creative. And just a few short minutes later, we get another moment where we have the head of a biker gang picking on a clown, only to get beheaded after the clown puts on boxing gloves and knocks his block off. There's cotton candy spider webs, dinosaur shadow puppets that eat a group of old people. Just about every scene in this movie got me to pop. These clowns were hilarious, conniving, vindictive, fun, hungry, and extremely violent. What more could I ask for? What amazes me about this most is that as of today, there are no sequels to this movie. Not saying that we need them, because we certainly do not. But the fact that there weren't 20 Killer Clown movies released immediately after this came out makes the original movie even more original. You cannot replicate this no matter how hard you try. And if you do try, you are bound to fail. The setting, the tone, the music, creativity, it's all here, and it's something truly special that can't be done again with this idea. The big leg, brother. This is where we've already hit the big boot and the leg, and we're about to go in for the cover. Is this a stream it or buy it movie? I watched this on Tubi, which is the only place I can find it streaming. And halfway through my first viewing of this movie, I was debating if I should buy it on Blu-ray. The one hang-up I was having was that I was starting to get worried that once I knew the punchline of the joke or kill, it was going to start to feel less special. But there is so much packed in here that I'm sure any future viewing of this is going to still get some laughs. But here's what the real dilemma is now. The only version of this movie that I can find is a pretty standard Blu-ray. It has commentary from the writers, 5 featurettes, 2 deleted scenes, bloopers, and trailers. This is all good, but I want to celebrate this movie even more. Yes, I'm very late to the party, but come on, no 4K remaster, a documentary on the legacy of the film, everything under the sun. This deserves it. Yes, I might have missed the boat, but maybe not. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, is going to be released later this year. I'm sure it's going to be just as absurd and fun as this movie was. Now, it's not my typical type of multiplayer game, but I do plan on checking this out. Plus, I'm sure what that means is that there's going to be a new audience coming in to see this movie for the first time, and maybe that's when it's going to inspire a new look at this classic. The bottom line, this movie was incredible. I loved just about everything about it. I know I'm not the only one, and I can't wait for this to get the resurgence it needs. Hopefully not from a sequel, just from a big spotlight on the original film. I mentioned before, it's on Tubi right now, and that's it. That's all I can find it on. That's not a go-to service for me, and with oversaturation of these ad-supported services, I'm very concerned about the future of this movie and being able to watch it whenever I want. At the same time, the version of the film that's out on Blu-ray is so standard. But I can't put this all to chance. I need this movie. I need to watch it over and over, maybe every year, maybe more. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is an absolute gem and will be part of the Masters of Nonsense horror collection. Let's call for the bell because now we have our decision. This movie takes an official spot on the Masters of Nonsense movie shelf. Are you thinking about getting this movie now? Do you think the decision should be overturned? Let us know by joining the discussion on our Threads page and all of our social media available on this screen. Like, subscribe, repeat. Always repeat.